Happy Monday, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us tonight on UpNorthLive Unscripted at 6:30. I am Maya Engel, live in our digital studio, and I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, and hopefully you took advantage of the pretty nice day we had yesterday, because, of course, Saturday we saw a lot of rain, and today it's been nice so far, but it sounds like we have some more rain on the way. So for more on that, let's turn things over to our meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix. Joe, when can we expect to see that rain?
Well, to put it straight up, probably after 4 a.m. tonight.
Okay.
So, cut the lawn this evening, no problems, bonfire, no issues. But very, very late tonight, Maya, another round of rain. It was nice, though, today. I mean, we do need the rain, of course, but we had a lot of it over the weekend. And then it was just nice today to have some blue sky overhead.
It was really nice. So do you think when people are getting up for work tomorrow, it'll still be raining?
Yeah, I think so. Especially, take a line from Charlevoix over to Alpena, south of there, especially is where I think some of the heavier rain may be, and even a few stronger thunderstorms. I'm going to show that coming up, Maya, kind of the timing on all that, and then we'll take a look at the rest of the week as well.
All right, Joe, we'll see you after our first commercial break, but let's start off with our question of the day. Today, that is, would you still vote for a candidate if they were arrested and charged with a crime? 44% of people have said yes, 56% have said no. You can scan that QR code on your screen right now to vote. And I'm going to head over to our website just to see how many people have voted. 416 people have voted so far. So again, if you haven't voted yet, you can do that by scanning that QR code. You can also leave a comment with your thoughts on this on our Facebook post. We have about 88 comments. I'll just read a few of them. So the top comment that comes up is from Alex, and Alex says, I vote for true leadership. True leaders have discipline and don't engage in illegal activities, even if the activities are profitable or fun. Diane says no. Sarah says yes. James says yes. And there's a lot of comments about former President Donald Trump. I think this probably is the first thing that comes to people's mind when they read this question is everything that's going on with Donald Trump. But here locally, too, this is kind of another big talking point. Of course, Representative Neil Frisky was arrested in Lansing last week. He has not been officially charged with anything yet, but another more local story is a Grand Traverse County commissioner was arrested during a 5-agency undercover operation last week. So Vice Chair of the Grand Traverse County Commission Board, Brad Jewett, and 2 others are facing charges. The sheriff's office right now, they can't comment on the charges they will submit, and the prosecutor's office, they can't say what they would charge without seeing the deputy's report. So we're kind of just playing the waiting game right now. But under Michigan law, it's likely that he'll be facing a misdemeanor charge. So meaning it could actually be a while before we would see Jewett in court. And this is a story that first broke last week. And today our Allie Baxter did an update on it. And here is her story.
Several of these types of operations over the past couple years.
An undercover operation like the one that allegedly caught Grand Traverse County Commissioner Brad Jewett engaging in solicitation of prostitution.
They're always multi-jurisdictional. We have other police agencies. We work closely with the prosecuting attorney's office when we do these.
Grand Traverse Undersheriff Randy Fulis can't speak specifically on Jewett's case or what happened during these operations. But he did shed some light on how detectives determine what they can arrest someone for.
Depending on what information comes to us during these, what elements of which crimes do we believe we have.
Elements of crime that are documented in reports and then sent to the prosecutor's office.
They can take an even bigger look at it and again, look at the elements of the crime and make sure that charges are appropriate.
Grand Traverse County Prosecutor Noelle Mogenberg says Jewett's case will be sent to the Attorney General for a special prosecutor due to his position on the county board. She says she can't comment on any potential charges for him without seeing a report from the sheriff's office.
Where are you guys in your investigation?
So the deputies and detectives who are working this investigation, they are still in the process of getting reports completed. We've got numerous supplemental reports to do based on the investigation.
And for more on this update, let's bring in Allie from our content center. Hi, Allie. Thanks so much for joining us again today. So It sounds like right now, a phone
Got a phone call coming in right now. Yep. All right, we took care of that.
busy newsroom right now. But so right now it sounds like things are kind of still up in the air for when Jewett will actually be in court and when we will see these next steps start to unfold. So sounds like the sheriff's office, they mentioned they're still working on some reports. Is there any timeline of when they plan to submit their case to the prosecuting office?
Yes, actually, Under Sheriff Fulis, he did tell me that they are trying to get everything together to go ahead and give it to the Grand Traverse County Prosecutor's Office early this week. Of course, we know like that is their goal, of course, but things with the cybersecurity incident that the county is experiencing right now, that's kind of put a delay on things. Normally, the way that they dictate their reports is a little bit different when they have access to certain technology pieces. So right now, they are having to do everything by hand to be able to get these reports over to the prosecutor's office. And I know that they are working on that. I was actually told some of the detectives and deputies were in over the weekend working on that. Of course, we know it's not just Brad Jewett. It was 2 other individuals as well. So they're trying to get that over to the prosecutor all in one. And that's just taking a little bit longer than they would like it to, but they are planning on all of that being in her hands early this week. Of course, though, we know it's not going to stay with her very long. Jewett's case specifically, she is going to ask the attorney general to go ahead and assign a special prosecutor to that.
Just since he is a county commissioner.
Yeah, just to avoid any conflicts of interest. That's also why he was initially arrested and taken to Leelanau County Jail. They just don't want any conflicts of interest in this. Since he is a county commissioner, the county board does control the budget for a lot of these agencies. So they want to make sure that there is no conflict of interest here and that they are able to send it off to someone else in a different jurisdiction.
So in the meantime, I know the county commission, I think, usually meets on Wednesdays. Is Jewett still able to attend county commission meetings as normal, or do you know what the state of that is?
Yeah, he can. And that's something that our reporter, Daniel Zivian, he was able to dig into a little bit more on Friday when we first found out about this. Of course, we want to know, he is the vice chair of the board. So kind of, does this conflict with what he's able to do? And the answer we were given is no, he is still, free to be able to come to these meetings. He can be a voting member as well. He hasn't been officially charged either. So I think they are taking this super seriously. The rest of the board is, but the way that they see it now is he is still allowed to show up and he's allowed to act in his role as being a member on the board.
And it sounds like from what you mentioned and from your report that the charges that he is facing could be different than the charges the other 2 people are facing.
Yes, and I know that can be a little bit confusing for people as well, because we look at, okay, why is he only facing a misdemeanor charge? And these other 2 are probably facing felony charges. That can be a little bit confusing to kind of loop all of them together. But the way it was explained to me, without getting too much into detail of what they were able to do in their undercover operation, is that Jewett just had a different situation, I believe the term they used was elements of crime. There was just a different element of crime with the path that Jewett had versus the other 2, which is why they are getting felony charges. And his is a misdemeanor. Of course, under Michigan law, of course, any first offense for something like this is going to be a misdemeanor charge. That's just standard Michigan law. It doesn't matter, the levels of egregiousness of solicitation. It is just Michigan law that your first offense is a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Allie, that you want people to know about this update or this story that we haven't really touched on yet?
I think I would say that something that we touched on in the story as well. This isn't the first time that the sheriff's office has done something like this. They've done other undercover operations before, and there's a lot of different jurisdictions that come together to make something like this happen, and that they are really actively working throughout the year to make sure that if there are people in our community who are seeking out these different things, that they aren't, and that they are able to put a stop to that.
All right, Allie, well, thank you so much for joining us and for giving us this update on where this investigation stands tonight. We really appreciate it. And I'm going to put our question of the day back up on the screen right now. So would you still vote for a candidate if they were arrested and charged with a crime? So again, based on the comments on our Facebook post, a lot of people are thinking about Donald Trump with this question because these local stories, Brad Jewett, Neil Frisky, they have been arrested, but they have not been charged yet. However, let's just say they were. If they were charged, would you still vote for a candidate who was arrested and charged? 44% say yes, 56% say no. By the way, so we also had an update today on Neil Frisky, and he is actually at a candidates forum in Petoskey tonight where he's there with other candidates running for his seat and then also some county commission seats. And our Daniel Zivian is there. He'll have a full report on that forum tonight on Up North Live News at 11. And then it sounds like Representative Frisky is heading back to Lansing tomorrow. So again, Frisky has been arrested. He has not officially been charged with any crimes yet. But if you haven't voted on our question of the day, please do that now. If you're watching online, I will keep our question of the day up on the screen during our next commercial break, so you can scan that QR code and vote. You can also leave a comment on this live stream or on our Facebook page. And we're going to take a short commercial break. But when we come back, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Joe Charlevoix. He mentioned we're getting some rain probably tomorrow morning. He'll have more on what areas are seeing rain, how much, how long it's going to last, and the forecast for the rest of the week. So stick around. You're watching Up North Live Unscripted. Welcome back to UpNorthLive Unscripted, everyone. I hope you all are having a good Monday, and hopefully you got outside today and took advantage of the nice weather we're having, because as Joe mentioned earlier, rain is on the way. So Joe, you said it'll happen right around 4 o'clock in the morning, and then when people do wake up, it'll probably still be raining. You think it's going to last most of the day tomorrow?
No, I don't think it's going to last most of the day. But you are right about later tonight, some rain coming in, and it's not a little pitter patter of rain. It might be a deluge on the way in. And I point that out because, Maya, we've had rain just about every single day going back to last week. We had all that hot weather, then off and on showers and storms, it seems. And of course, Saturday, all that rain too. Let's go to Cadillac. Why not, right?
Why not?
Because we can. And there it is, 77. Right overhead, some cloud cover. As we look at our Baker College camera there, downtown Cadillac, that is an area tonight where I do believe we could see some heavier rain. Although right now, beautiful. It's been a nice day. This is radar over the course of the entire weekend, way back. So we'll go back to Saturday morning. There's all that rain, and then the big batch of storms there. And then even yesterday, a few showers, a couple thunderstorms, and then today was that quiet day that we did have. Now, if you look upstream tonight, well, first off, I want to show you where you had some of the heavier rain. I'm going to zoom in down by Ludington, where you see that purple. This is all the rain over the weekend. But right here, that purple area and that red box there to the east of Ludington, that's where we had an average of about 3.5 inches of rain. There were some spots almost 5.5 inches of rain. That's almost a month and a half's worth of rain just over the weekend. But here's what we're looking at tonight. High pressure over Ohio, that led to the nice day today. But if you look out in the Dakotas, that little area of low pressure impulse is going to kick off some storms. Right now, there is not a lot happening up there. There's the current radar up to the current time. And you see a few showers. There's nothing going on right now. But later tonight, we still anticipate the development of some storms up that way. So we'll run the clock out. Let's stop at Maya right around the late news. You just start seeing there west of Rhinelander some storms. And then look at these coming in. So that is just what you mentioned about 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Now, if you're up in the UP and Straits, you might just get some rain and embedded thunder. But, if you take a line from Charlevoix over to Alpena and south of there, some heavy rain early tomorrow morning. We're talking very heavy rain, maybe an inch in an hour or two, and the potential even for some stronger winds with these storms as they come ashore. And then they move on quick, and by 10 o'clock, all that rain is pretty much out of here. And then as far as the rest of tomorrow is concerned, you might get a pop-up shower in the afternoon, but the rest of the day looks relatively dry. And then Wednesday might run into a few showers then. But the big rain, at least it looks like for this week, is going to be later tonight. The severe weather threat, it's much higher in Wisconsin. So there, that gray or brown area, that's an enhanced risk for storms tonight. Again, this is late tonight. This should probably say Tuesday morning. Our area, maybe a couple stronger storms. May threat some damaging wind potential. And there's their thoughts on the rain right there. 1/2 inch to an inch, but that'll fall in a very short period of time tonight. Mackinac Island, say you're tuned in there watching tonight, not as much rain up north. There'll be more south with this particular system. And we'll look at the 7-day Maya, the extended forecast. And there it is going into, next week is Independence Day week, 4th of July. A few showers on Wednesday. Look at the temperatures, though, Wednesday. That front's going to pass by late tonight and tomorrow, and then look at the 60s Wednesday. Thursday's beautiful, 70 and sunny. And if you have weekend plans, and I'm putting that out there right now, there is the chance perhaps for a little rain to start the weekend. And one more thing I want to show you, the National Cherry Festival Air Show is next weekend in Traverse City. Well, this could change, of course. It's 5-6 days away, but there's the chance for some rain perhaps on Saturday. That's something we'll definitely keep an eye on as we get a little bit closer there.
So, Joe, we work the late newscast, so obviously we're up pretty late.
Yeah.
I tend to sleep in, so I'm going to make sure tomorrow I don't wake up before 10 because my dog Freddie will not like all that rain. But if I wake up after that,
we'll get a good soaking tonight, too.
There we go.
All
right. Thanks, Joe. We're going to take another short break here on UpNorthLive Unscripted. But when we come back, we will check in with sports director Harrison Beebe. He is back from vacation, and we'll see what he is up to today. So stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Let's bring in a face we haven't seen in a while. That is sports director Harrison Beebe, back from vacation, looking nice and tan. Oh, Harrison, we can't hear you. Beebe. There we go.
Is that better?
Let's try that. Yep.
Okay. Huh. Well, hey, it's always going to be some jitters when you come back from a week off, but I appreciate the compliments of the tan. Yes, there were some really the most sun I got the whole time I've been away from you guys was down covering those baseball softball finals. I was just in the stands roasting there at the games in East Lansing, and yeah, all that sun, it cooked me pretty good. I got a couple beach days in last week, but as you knew, the weather was kind of up and down last week too. So, but yeah, it's a good time off. Did some golfing. Tried to stay away from as much sports as possible, but as we all know, if I have this job, chances are I paid attention to the Monty Williams news, him getting let go by the Pistons. So that was certainly controversial, maybe not so much for Piston fans' sake, but for all the money they're going to pay him. So there were some interesting storylines, but I know you helped in a lot of sports coverage, so I appreciate all your hard work, Maya, and keeping things going while I'm not going.
Yes, of course. So, Harrison, where are you right now?
I am up in the high-rise media suite at Turtle Creek Stadium. So kind of show you what they set up for us here. My buddy Ryan's running the track man. He does like the statistics for the Northwoods League games. So that's what he's breaking down all the information right now. Yep. He's arguably the most important person at the ballpark. Definitely the most knowledgeable of baseball is this guy. He's rattling off stuff from when I grew up watching baseball, and he wasn't even born yet. Or if he was very little. So he's done his research. So this is the view. For those of you who don't know, when I shoot Pittsburgh games, it's usually from up here. So you might recognize the angle if you've seen the highlights on our station. But, yeah, I like this view. It gives me a nice overhead look behind the plate. So ever since the Beach Bums played here, I've come up here. And so, yeah, it's a good little view of everything. You see the crowds on the Bark at the Park nights. You get a great look at all the pups at the field. It's a smorgasbord of activity. And, yeah, this is how I rise. This is like one of my favorite spots to sit at any baseball game, Comerica Park, wherever. Just sit up high above home plate. It really gives you a great vantage point of everything going on. So
You see it all. So, of course, Pitt Spitters are playing tonight. The Tigers are playing right now. Harrison, I don't know if you have checked the score, but right after our weather segment with Joe, he comes into my earpiece and he says, "Hey, Maya, guess what? The Tigers are already down 4-0 in the first."
Ryan, the Tigers are down 4-0. Ryan already knew. Where were you on that one, buddy? I needed you. He already knew about it. Joe already knew about it. See, maybe I shouldn't have this job anymore. I don't even know what the Tigers are doing. I know they're playing the Phillies, and I know Aaron Nola's on the mound. Casey Mize, your favorite pitcher, at least what I thought was your favorite pitcher, not doing so hot tonight, I guess, huh? Well, should we talk about another big sporting event going on? Maybe on this station, maybe in like an hour?
Maybe a little hockey action.
Hockey? We should do that hockey. Like, what's his face from SNL? Chance the Rapper. We need let's do that hockey skit. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't know that one. You lost me there. Sorry.
I think a lot of viewers might be familiar with that one if they watch SNL at all. But yeah, tonight's the big one, Game 7, Oilers and Panthers. It's been done in the NHL before. A team has come back in the finals, especially. It's been done where a team's come back down 0-3, but only 4 times previously. So this would be the 5th time in history, 2nd time in the Stanley Cup Finals. And Maya, I stress this all the time. There's 7 Canadian teams in the NHL. We haven't seen a Stanley Cup Canadian champion since 1993. It's been 31 years. So that's what Edmonton is also playing for tonight. I don't know if the rest of the Canadian contingency, Maple Leafs and Canadiens fans and all that, are that passionate about that stat, but I know I am, and I'm an American, so or United Statesian. But yeah, that's the other thing that's up for grabs
tonight for the Oilers.
Right. Should be pretty interesting. 8:00 on this station on ABC. So yeah, pretty cool stuff to come back from vacation for.
Absolutely.
Except that Tigers score. Let's release that.
It's early on. They can bounce back. But
that's right. They could. The bullpen is pretty good. Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, Harrison. Thanks so much. We'll see you tonight at 11. We're going to take one more short break, and when we come back, we will check our final results for Question of the Day.